Hi, I'm Henish Pulickal, and I'm the owner of Cal Home Co. And I wanted to spend a few minutes to kind of give a little bit of my bio so you know who I am and how I got here. So when we meet, we don't have to go over all that. So currently, I work as the CEO of Cal Home Co. Real estate, investments, and construction. And I'm only 50% owner of the construction company, but I do own 100% of the real estate and investment sides. So, how did I get here? And what was my journey to this point? So let's go over that a little bit. So I grew up in Michigan. My family's from India ethnically. So I was actually born in Kerala, India. My family came to Michigan when I was 2 years old, around 1982. So I grew up in Michigan, went to University of Michigan, and my first job out of college was in the subprime lending world in 2002, where I was in a management trainee position and was able to do underwriting out of their location in Cincinnati, Ohio, where I lived for about 9 months. Learned how to underwrite a file, credit, collateral capacity, etc., stack files, things like that, and understand how to put a loan together. In February of 2003, I moved to Chicago, downtown, where I was going to be an account executive for the same subprime mortgage company, which meant that my job was to be the bank for loan officers. So loan officers would have the clients. I would say, hey, if they don't fit in the conventional box, send them to my company where I'll give you a non-conforming loan. And I did that for 3 years. I did a great job. Was always one of the top salespeople in the company and in the region. So experienced a lot of success there. After a few years, I started getting suspicious of the market and a little stir crazy, and I'd saved up some money and I was interested in traveling. So told the company I was going to quit and pass my accounts off and go travel the world. And this is towards the end of 2005. Right at that same time, the president of the company said, hey, we heard you're going to leave and we don't want to lose you. What's it going to take to keep you around? We're going to open up an outsourcing operation in India, where I'm ethnically from. Do you want to go and run that? I said, let me think about it. Yes, I'll take that job. And so early in 2006, packed up all my stuff, sold my condo, my car, my motorcycle, passed all my accounts off, and moved to India, to near New Delhi, India, or Delhi, India. Lived in a suburb called Noida. We worked with an outsourcing firm to outsource a lot of the back-end data entry processes that work at a mortgage company, including payroll, accounting, HR, invoicing, document stacking, title insurance, et cetera, et cetera. We had a few people doing phone calls, but mostly it was data entry. So did that, got a great experience, traveled throughout India and along the way on weekends and long weeks here and there. Had a great experience, and I kept coming to San Diego for business trips, and I love San Diego. The weather's great. It's way better than Michigan, Ohio, or Cincinnati, and way better than India too. And I also love playing beach volleyball. So it was a good fit. Moved to San Diego in 2007. The outsourcing operation was now in steady state, and I got a chance to move to San Diego and run the REO department. That was the next job up that needed help. The president said, this department needs work. Will you take it over? And so I did. So I took over the REO department, 25 asset managers reporting to me. We were managing about 2,000 properties that have already been foreclosed by the property during our last Great Recession in 2007. And it was my job to make sure that we sold all those properties quickly, efficiently, and got the best return for the company, since they were losing a lot of money on this portfolio of bad assets or these houses. So I took that experience and was able to start getting speaking engagements and talking engagements at different conferences and conventions, because I was doing a really good job of selling these homes much better than comparable companies at other banks, because I was paperless, because we were moving fast. So that led to more and more experiences where I started doing consulting for some private investment firms. And after a few months of doing that, I got scooped up by a larger consulting firm that said, would you consult for us? Our clients are the big ones like Bank of America and Chase. So I took that job and did that for over a year. This was around 2011 or so. So 2011 was doing consulting for Bank of America primarily, and some other banks where I'd fly to Dallas every week from San Diego, spend my Monday through Thursday there, help them with their businesses, improve their processes, and they kept extending me and sending me. And the job got a little tedious. As glamorous as it seems to stay in a hotel and take flights and rack up frequent flyer miles, it wasn't that great. And I knew eventually I wanted to have a family, and that wasn't a schedule that could be sustainable to also have a family. So eventually put in my notice and thought I'd take a career shift, and went to grad school in Syracuse, New York for public administration. I got an executive master's degree, had a great experience, learned a lot there, had multiple opportunities to go East Coast or all over to work for the government or private contractors or consulting firms associated with public administration or working with the governments and kind of international trade and things like that, or international finance. Was cool, but one of my mentors said, hey, you got to really think about what you want to do with your life and how you want to live, and that made me come right back to San Diego. That was 2013. I was able to take over for someone that was retiring from his real estate investment company that he had started, asked me to take over as CEO, did it, and learned a lot quickly, but also found out that the owner didn't have the same ethics and values as I did, in terms of he was okay with lying to people and cheating them and treating his employees bad. And I wasn't about that. I never was. I didn't want to become the bad guy as it was. And so, in a few short months, I left and said, I could do the same company that he did and just treat people nicely and treat sellers and clients fairly and tell them the truth. And if we can do a deal, then it's a win-win. And that way no one feels like they've been ripped off. So that's exactly what I did. 2014 came along. I started my own company and started flipping houses. So the flipping houses worked out. We were going direct to seller, and we were fixing them up, selling them. And I had experience selling houses, no problem. I didn't have a lot of experience with project management. So cue to my next hire, which is a project manager. So project manager joined my team. He was managing all of my flips that we were doing. I was adding real estate agents that have been working with me that would help sell the houses and host the open houses and turn buyers into new clients and stuff like that. And the project manager has been with me since 2015 now. Fast forward a few years, in 2017, we started doing client remodels for them, for people that had their own house that wanted to remodel. By 2018, we decided to make it a full separate construction company. So now we have an S Corp for Cal Home Co. Construction, where we're building ADUs, custom houses, additions, and homes. And that company's been doubling in size every year since we started it in 2018. Meanwhile, I'm still flipping houses. I don't do a lot, maybe about 12 a year or so, one a month on average, but I always have 3 or 4 or more in the pipeline because they take a few months to fix and sell. Additionally, I'm also selling a bunch of houses for clients and friends and family and realtors or other neighbors and stuff like that. Anyone that's around that knows that I'm pretty good at selling houses, since I've sold hundreds of my own and thousands for companies, including the bank that I was at. And I've got this deep experience with mortgages and real estate where I understand how these things work. So that's a little bit about a professional. Going forward, we've got still a lot of great flips going on. We're still selling awesome houses and doing a great job for our clients. We're still growing our construction company. And next up is, in my real life monopoly, is multifamily development. And there's a lot of things that are happening in San Diego that allow for you to develop 5, 6, 10, 20, 50, 100 plus unit properties where there wasn't allowed to be. So there's a lot of opportunities for that, and we're capturing that now. And we're in escrow to buy properties that can be built into multifamilies. And I'm really looking forward to that next chapter of having large multifamily investment opportunities as a new wing of my company, in addition to the flips, in addition to the real estate, in addition to the construction. So that's a little bit about me professionally. Personally, I am a dad and a husband. I've been married for about 9 years now, as of 2022. I've got 3 kids, 7, 5, and 3. They're great, they're healthy, they're vibrant. We live in Pacific Beach, a few blocks from the ocean. I stay active with a rec league basketball league, play beach volleyball every week, 2-on-2, mildly competitive, and been doing that for years, and I love it. And other than that, travel a little bit locally. We just came back from a trip to Barbados. Last year we went to Belize. And I've been to a lot of different places, maybe about 25, 30 different countries prior to having a family and stuff. I've also do a lot of things professionally related in terms of events, podcasts, speaking engagements, and the like. So a lot of different things that I've been part of. Very diligent on my calendar and my schedule, and we get it all done. So that's a quick primer of me, and hopefully we get to meet soon.